just how I feel. So
Welcome
wake
to
up.
the Harlot and the Witch podcast. I'm your host, The Witch, and with me I have my fellow host.
The harlot.
Yeah, we don't know what that was, but that's all right.
Yeah.
Welcome as we invite you into this safe space where we will converse one with another about interesting topics. Some are a little heavy, some a little light, but just know we're going to sprinkle some facts in there, sprinkle some opinions in there, and just join us on this journey. So today's topic is why is the color hold up, wait. Oh no, I gotta get it. Okay. This topic is about color and gender. And so why certain colors are associated with certain genders. And
Mhm.
what is your opinion on that? Because if like we can get as light and as heavy as you want to, where people associate pink with like women and blue
Mhm.
with like men. And when when those colors people begin to wear those colors that they're not for, is when people will either question someone's sexuality. They may be like, oh, that's weird. It may make some people uncomfortable. So what is your opinion on the whole topic?
Yeah, I definitely understand the concept of it where whenever you go to someone's baby shower, they're having a boy, they have the color like yellow or blue.
Mm,
And then for the female it's pink. And um it's been like that for centuries where we are associating boys having trucks and girls having dolls.
mm,
Girls wearing pink and red and girly colors like purple.
mm,
Boys having more masculine, more gender neutral colors.
mm,
And to me, I I try to formulate my own opinion, but I'm so used to how I grew up, where pink is associated with the female and blue is associated with
mm,
male. But as far as like breaking that cycle,
mm,
without social norms trying to depict what my kid is,
mm,
where he likes pink, so he's gay.
mm,
He like pink because he like pink. Is that a problem? So for me, I don't I wouldn't say I'm going to sit there and be like, oh, I'm putting pink on my kid
mm,
for him to look like a girl, or put blue on my daughter where it's like a masculine shirt
mm,
and she looks like a dude. I'm
mm,
not saying that, but I'm saying whatever they want to wear when they are able to talk to me and know what they want,
mm,
then they can wear that according to what's appropriate for. Obviously, I don't want them to get bullied.
mm,
Um, but I think it's been something that we've gotten so used to that it just is a repetitive cycle. But I
mm,
don't want my kid to be in it where it's like, oh, you have to play with trucks. You can't play with Barbie dolls. You
mm,
can play with Barbie dolls. You could, because I used to play with Barbie dolls and chop off their fingers and their toes.
mm,
And if you want to play Barbie dolls, you play Barbie dolls. But it's something where I'm not going to restrict them just because society says so. If
mm,
my kid wants to play with a certain toy, if they want to wear a certain color, like pink could be masculine too. I see guys wear pink shorts
mm,
and pink outfits and look good.
mm,
Um, but it's just I feel like there's a limit
mm.
to certain things. That's
Okay.
just me. Like you're not gonna. We'll get there. We'll get there. Not as in depth. I want to stay more on surface because I know this is gonna turn some people's heads.
No, go on and
But
say it. Go
I
on
just
and
feel
say how you
like
feel. You could be
if I'm
politically
being honest,
correct.
I
Just
just wouldn't want.
go ahead.
Okay, I wouldn't. I don't care what my kid wears as far as colors, but I wouldn't want to see my son in certain outfits that would get him bullied.
Mm,
And I wouldn't want to see my daughter in certain outfits that would get her bullied. Will I still love her at the end of the day? Of course, that's gonna be
mm,
my kid.
mm,
But whatever is like society is so harsh
mm.
that so many people commit suicide because of it. And then
That's
they
true.
can't come to their parents and tell them, and then
Right.
I gotta go kill some people. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Sorry, but not sorry. So it's
Right.
more like I'm just trying to protect them, but also let them know, like, hey, this is your life. You get to live it how you want, but I'm gonna direct you in the path that I would like you to take. But at the
Mm,
end of the day, when you're grown, you're grown. You take how you
mm,
want, but I'll still be there to protect you, love you, support you no matter what.
mm.
And
See,
I'll keep it there.
see, I wanted to look this up, so I checked it, and it said that um the idea that pink is for girls and blue is for boys is a color rule that has been around for a long time, but there isn't a logical reason for it. It said that in the 19th century, pastel colors became popular for babies, but they weren't used to signify boy or girl until the 20th century. So it isn't something that has been going on forever, forever. It's more of a, you could say, past 100 to like 150 years. And then it said that, okay, in the 1920s, some groups described pink as a, okay, interesting. Okay, so back in the 1920s, said some groups described pink as a masculine color, while blue was seen as a more dainty color for girls. So it switched
Mm.
around, is saying, in like in the 1940s, manufacturers began making
Wow.
clothes that color coordinated for young boys and girls, dividing the population between blue and pink color assignments based on what they believed the public would like and what they would buy. So it's more of a thing where the manufacturers caused the shift to be like, okay, then boys, you wear blue and girls, you wear pink. Where it's saying like before that,
Mm.
for like those 20 years or even a little bit longer, it was the opposite way. And then even before then, there was no assignment for the color itself.
Mhm.
And I think it's just funny how we as people are so influenced by how corporations will market things, and it will
Mhm.
set trends and set standards for what we believe to be right or wrong. I think I find it interesting because I chose this topic because there's an award show called the Stellar Awards, and the Stellar Awards is a gospel award show, kind of like the Grammys, but for gospel artists. And there's a gospel artist that's been going on for years, like for over like 30, 40 years. His name is Ricky Dillard, and he's choir director, and so he makes a lot of music that is choir based, which is more traditional gospel. But the reason I point him out, he's always his over the span of his career wore very like outlandish outfits, and like him and his choir will always wear matching robes. But this year, they were colors was bright pink and yellow, and when you look at
Mm.
the comment section, they were talking
Mm.
about. Y'all already know how the church is sometimes
Yes, it
when
is.
it comes to that
Hypocrites.
those type of topics, and they were like, the choir master is sweet. The choir director, they not living right no more. They're like they need to go
That's because
back
he
to
wore pink.
wearing all that stuff. Just saying a whole bunch of stuff. And it made me sit back and think, because there's a scripture that basically highlights like masculine things need to like ought to act like men and women ought to act like women, and like keep things that are those two things separated. But I was like, okay, then y'all are using this scripture, but what does it have to do with a color? I told them
Exactly.
because
Where did the color come from?
come on now. And I said, if you look at the Bible, those colors and those things were made even before people were made. Because the Bible says God made the animals and all the earth and all those things on the fifth day, and then on the sixth day he made man. So those colors existed even before people existed. So to sit here and pass a judgment on somebody just based on a color, when it's like, okay, then, but why do you associate this color with this? It's truly because of that marketing and stuff. It has nothing to do with what this color really means, because it don't mean nothing. It's just a color. So
Right.
I do agree with you on the fact that I think that I would never set my kids up to be in a position to be bullied
Mhm.
for what they're going to wear. There, you know, the show What Would You Do? They did a while ago. A boy wore this pink sparkly hat, and the dad was like telling me, "No, you need to take that off. You need to take that off." And then he would ask the opinion of the strangers, "Do you think my son needs to take it off?" And most of the men would be like, "Yeah, you need to take that off." But a lot of the women was like saying, "No, let him wear what he wants to wear. It don't matter." And
Mhm.
so I think a lot of it does come down to men seeing that color as less masculine because of how it's marketed from birth, that this color means girl, it means feminine, when it's like it's just a color, it doesn't mean
Right.
anything. Unless, because it's interesting, I'm glad that I read the thing about it used to be switched back in the 1920s, that the pink was associated with a more masculine thing and then the blue was associated with more feminine, because it really just comes down to culture and how the society is at that point to what that thing really means. So I think it really makes people really. I think it. I hope this conversation helps people understand that. Why do you really think the way that you think about things? Is it really you, or is it just what our society has been? That's why I'm like, I agree with you that there are just certain things that my kids are not going to wear, and certain color choices that I would not put on them um, when they're younger, just so that they don't have to get bullied. Even though my kids are going to be taking martial arts, so they'll handle that business if they need to handle that business
That's
um,
it.
when people want to act up. But I just think it's interesting. I think it's very interesting because I feel like when you learn to like be like, okay, then what it kind of brings up the question, which could be a little bit, if you want to go into it a little bit, is like, what is really the definition of this one thing being masculine and one thing being feminine? Like, what is that line for people when it comes to just how you dress, how you act?
Mhm.
Like, what defines those things?
I think that for that is just how society is as a whole, where they
Mm-hmm.
associate dresses and skirts with more feminine appeal, and for men it's shorts or slacks,
Mm-hmm.
t-shirt, polos,
Mm-hmm.
things like that. Um,
Because
and
if
then
you go
also
back far enough, you know them the 1800s and all this stuff, them royal people were wearing their wigs and they were wearing the
mhm,
men, they had them heels on, they had all that stuff. So it's just
exactly.
interesting how like
That's true.
a lot of these trends, like you go back far enough and what they were wearing, the other people were wearing, and what the other people were wearing, they were wearing. So it's like it's interesting. But keep going.
Yeah, where's the line? It's true. And then I think also in femininity is also much more of a softer presence and more kinder, more nurturing, while the masculine side of things are more tough, rough, strong, providing aspect. So they think, oh, you have to be more manly. You have to talk a certain way. You can't
Mm-hmm.
do your hand like this or
Mm-hmm.
like this, or you can't have a purse. But
Mm-hmm.
nowadays we see guys painting their nails,
Mm-hmm.
wearing the little pouches,
That part.
and they're very much so straight.
Mm-hmm.
But society's like, oh no, you can't do that. What girls do, they put on nail
Mm-hmm.
polish, they get their nails done. But I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, they just want to take care of their nails.
Mm-hmm.
Is that an issue? Like I know a lot of people do clear, but I see like they have all designs and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
And then rock stars have been painting their nails black and have the whole gothic um punk rock
the
metal
look, the
thing tied on it,
mascara.
right? Right. So it's
They
like
consider them weird, but they wouldn't say, oh, you gay.
right. And the thing about it is it's really interesting how like it's a cultural thing too, because what some people will accept in one culture, other people won't accept in another culture. Like you were talking about the purges, like
Right.
more in like Korea and stuff like that. There's the whatever the beauty standard and what is defined as masculine and feminine is kind of
Yeah.
different there than what it would be here in the States. And of course, religion plays a role into a lot of these things, but I really feel like people need to really do like look up why something is the way it is. So just like this color thing is really interesting to me because it was just really interesting to me when people were in those comment sections for like I'm like this man that has been like y'all wasn't saying anything when he came the previous year with a black robe. Y'all wasn't saying anything the next year. His songs like it's not like the message of his songs has changed and now he's singing about something crazy. No, he's still singing about God and Jesus and like living right and like holding the song specifically was called "You Gotta Hold On" and it's just about like holding on during hard times and stuff like that. So he still has those positive messaging. It's just you got stuck on what he was wearing
Mm,
and nothing. It's like and that's what everybody in the both the men and the women were both wearing pink and yellow. That's what the color scheme was. So I'm sitting over here being like, did y'all miss the message behind like what they were wearing? Is that like I don't know. For that's something that's oh, and that's a whole nother topic about Christianity, but that's something that happens a lot where like they get stuck behind the presentation of the message. And I'm not saying that you got to be here being like basically butt naked outside saying something like your presentation doesn't matter. But to what extent is it like okay, then y'all are doing too much, and it's not them that's the problem, it's you. You know, you got to focus inward on like why aren't
oh,
you paying attention to the message? Okay, so since I'm here, we're almost done with this topic, and I will say this: when it comes to color, and when it comes to the topic as a whole, my last closing thoughts is this that it's going to be interesting to see what how that is cuz basically if it's that whole thing kind of started in around 1920 and we're in 2024 it's been over a little bit over 100 years. So my
mhm.
question is I wonder is that color scheme going to switch? Is things going to change to what it was or how I could see it happening. I could see it
I can
especially
see
cuz
it.
people like the
It's
different
more normalizing.
gender
Yeah.
identities and what people associate with X, Y, and Z, I could feel it being the type of thing would be like, okay, we're just gonna remove the color as a whole and like y'all wear what y'all want to, whatever color y'all want to put on that kid. If they want to put the blue, the green, the yellow, the orange, the whatever, they're gonna wear
Yeah.
whatever they want to wear. There are some people that are always gonna stick to what they known as the traditional thing for sure, and I
Yeah.
don't
The
think
old
there's
people.
necessarily I don't think there's necessarily an issue with any of it. Like if you want them to
No.
do whatever. It's your life, your children, your family. But I just think that people need to be understand why y'all subscribe
Where
to
it came
certain
from.
things
Hmm.
and don't allow those things to divide you when it's like this wasn't a permanent thing. This came into existence at a certain point. And it's
Right.
not like this was on day one when people were created. Hey, you got to wear this. Adam and Eve, what y'all wearing? I said, because
They
they
had
weren't wearing
leaves.
nothing. They were,
Exactly. They sit over there picking up leaves. You know it's true.
Right. And with that, we could be like green. Everybody's supposed to have green. That's what you're supposed to wear because that's what they put on
That's it.
green. But what are your final thoughts?
I agree for sure. Because if you're sitting there trying to uh downplay the color system of what people can and can't wear. Okay, so in the Bible it says you're supposed to wear 100% cotton. Why are you
Mm.
wearing polyester?
Oh,
Why are you wearing
oh.
okay? Like it's like I feel like people choose. They pick and choose what they want to say. Oh, you can't do this and you can do this. But
Mm-hmm.
when it comes down to you doing certain things, oh, it's okay. I can do it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, you can't pick and choose. Just let it be how it is. They want to wear a certain color. That's let them wear a certain color. You can look. That's cool. And then
Right.
they don't sit there and be like, oh, why are you wearing that? You can't do this.
Mm.
And
Mm.
is that doing something to you?
Mm.
Is it doing something for your life?
Mm.
They're walking down the street. Let them walk down the street.
Mm-hmm.
Or even not even when it comes to that community. It's more like if someone wants to wear it, they just want to wear it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's it. That's life.
Mm.
Everyone's different.
Do you think more judgment for that color scheme thing comes on men or women?
Men,
Mm.
for sure. Because a woman could do it and wear blue, black, gray, whatever, and it's all right.
Mm-hmm.
But for the men, it's like,
Mm.
you know,
Right.
what do you think?
100%. Yeah, there's always going to be a double standard when it comes to that in our culture, especially in the United States, because
Mm-hmm.
it's really just that divide of what people define as what's masculine and what's feminine. And so, as long as that is still a thing, which it probably will be for a very, very long time, people are going to be like, oh, okay, then this color means this, and since it means this, then it means that. Um, but I'm like, y'all are gonna be a rude awakening, especially when y'all die and y'all see what's in heaven, because there's many colors in heaven. I'm like, y'all gonna be
Mm-hmm.
mad when people wearing this, that, and the third. But um, I just think people need to, in a way, I kind of agree with you in like, mind your business. Like, go wear what you want to wear. Wear the clothes that fit you. Well, how about you find clothes that fit you first before you worry about what somebody else's color
Have your
scheme is
stomach
going
hanging
on.
out.
Coming feet
Mm,
coming out the shoes.
mm, leaning.
Let's do you know what your cholesterol level is? Like, let's get it together, people. But I think that in the grand scheme of things, I think it don't matter. I don't think it matters. Like, it was just crazy to me. I'm like, that choir director was doing what they were supposed to be doing. I said, and this is the only time out of all these years that they've had the Stellar Award. I think it's the 40th year that they've had the Stellar Awards was this year. I'm like, this is the only time that he's worn this, and now y'all are up in up in arms, about to lose yourself. It kind of makes me really realize think about, okay, then what's your relationship with Christ really like? What is it really like to get
Mm,
stuck right there? Do you
mm,
know him for real? I tell them because if we start and if we go down the list and you're saying the one thing that this person got wrong is the color that they wore for this performance, but are you lying? Are you cursing? Do you help your neighbor? Are you selfish? What are you
talk
doing?
about
If we go down the list of the things that you're not abiding by, come on, people. I think
it.
that's a whole nother
It's a
conversation.
scroll.
It's yes, it's a scroll, a whole scroll of things of like y'all are not doing this, but you're worried about this. I think it's so important that people worry about themselves in this year. Worry about you. Worry about getting your life right for whatever religious thing you believe in. Worry about getting yourself lined up with that. Worry about accomplishing your goals, your dreams, and aspirations, and don't let a color that was created and was here well before any of us like define how you feel about
Perfect.
somebody.
Exactly.
Thank you so
Tell
much
us.
for joining us on this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful podcast. Y'all feel that? Y'all like those echoes? I like to add those for dramatic effect sometimes. And we will
Yeah,
catch you on the next
he has
one.
about 2 brain cells left, so that's why.
Rich. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. You can follow us on all our social media platforms
Yeah.
on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, on all of the above. We'll have links in the description below. And we will catch you on the next one. Leave a comment for whatever video you like to see for us next. And tell us, how do you feel about the color scheme? Does it hurt you? Does it
Yes.
affect you? Does
Comment
it make
down.
you cry? How does it make you feel? And we'll catch you on the next one. Bye bye.